Hello! So today we're going to try to install Manjaro on a micro SD card for the Pinebook Pro. I already downloaded the file and I also extracted it because those are just tasks that take quite a while without anything really happening. I will put up the links in the description where you can download the file. So here is the forum post, and when you scroll down a bit you get the actual download links. So in my case I went for KDE Plasma, not the eMMC edition, because we're going to install on the micro SD, so you have to take one of the files on the lower half. As I said, I already downloaded the file. It's about 1 gigabyte. When you extract it, well, it gets to 5.5 gigabyte. I use the X-Archiver, not really the most user-friendly program in my opinion, but at least it gets the job done. So it took a while before it actually opened, and oops, sorry. And you can also drag and drop the file. Well, in my case I already did that, so we don't have to do it. And what I also noticed was that it doesn't display any progress. The only thing you see is that your CPU will go to 2 gigahertz, so that way you can see that it's actually doing something, but other than that it doesn't really show you the progress. Well, so much for the complaints. I mean, in the end everything works. With Manjaro they actually recommend using Etcher to put the file on the micro SD. I think you have to jump through some hoops to get that running on the ARM architecture. So I'm actually going to try it in a little bit different way. I'm going to use DD. It's a bit like a sharp knife. If you know what you're doing, then it's a really helpful tool. But you really have to be careful because you can mess up any drive, because it starts overriding the designated drive. So if you point it to the eMMC, then it will try to override the eMMC, so potentially leaving you with a broken machine. Well, anyway, so much for the warnings. So I have a 32 gigabyte micro SD. You can slot it in on the right hand side, and it's a spring mechanism, so you have to be careful, because I once managed to launch a micro SD card 2 meters away because I didn't put it in properly, didn't lock in properly. So yeah, be careful when you put it in. Okay, as I said, we're going to use DD, and that also means that we have to know how to address the micro SD card with DD. So with Fdisk -L you can list all your devices or disk devices, and you also have to use sudo with that. So I already did that without the micro SD card in there, so now I do it again with the micro SD card in there. And let's see. Yeah, I think it's probably this one. Yeah, because there's always a difference between what the manufacturer puts uh, as a label on the micro SD card, how many gigabytes are in there. And also when you format the drive, you also lose a little bit of storage. But this one is pretty close to 32 gigabytes, so yeah, this is probably the device that we need to write to. So now let's see. We're on desktop. Let's see. Okay, so the file is in the directory downloads. I also looked up how to use DD. So you have the input file and, well, you could say output file, but yeah, in this case you're gonna output to a device, so it's not really a file. On the other hand, some people say with Linux everything is a file. Well, I don't want to go into that discussion. Anyway, here you can see the basic structure of the command. So we'll try to use that as an example. Oh, wait. Oops. So let's pray I didn't do anything wrong, and here we go. Right, then probably I have to use sudo. Well, the CPU yeah, it's not really getting a higher clock speed, but I can see from the blinking light that actually something is happening. So perhaps there you can see that blinking light. So in my case I used a 32 gigabyte micro SD card. Yeah, it was not really the fastest one, so yeah, writing 5.5 gigabytes to it, that can take a while. Well, let's see. I think I read something, yeah, that you can monitor the DD operation. Oh, in that case I have to install the pipe viewer, and then I should have started the commands with the pipe viewer. Well, so that's not going to work anymore for me, but yeah, I'll also put this link in the description, so yeah, if you want to do it yourself, then you can prepare a little bit better than I did. So for the moment I'm just stuck without any progress bar or whatever. So yeah, I'll simply have to wait and see. Well, I'll just stop the recording for now, and once it's finished I'll start the recording and see you in a bit. So, we're back again. That took around 634 seconds, it says. Yeah, I guess in theory we're done, and I think the micro SD has boot priority over the eMMC. So we're going to close everything and let's see what it does after a reboot. Well, that's the Manjaro logo, so that means it's actually booting from the micro SD. Enter username. Well, finish Manjaro ARM install. So I guess you can create your user here. Well, I really have no clue, but I guess users sounds like a logical group to be in. Oh. Oh. Oh dear, that's probably a very long list. And let's see if we can get to Europe. Amsterdam time zone for me. Okay. Oh, just English, British. Amiga keyboard layout, that's interesting. Also Atari and Apple. But we have the ISO layout, so let's see if we can find that. Now this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, because now I don't have a clue what I should use. So, now I just guess I'll just go with UK, because it also has the pound sign on the keyboard, so desired hostname for this system. Well, I guess Pinebook Pro would be a nice hostname for this system. Well, and if it's not correct, then I can still overwrite this image again and do this whole thing again. But for now, we'll accept this. And yeah, let's see how fast this actually boots into a working Manjaro install. Okay, so it's done some stuff and it's rebooting again. Okay. Well, the clock seems to be a little bit off, but that's nothing too serious. And it has booted. So, yeah, I think this movie is already long enough, so we'll stop here, and perhaps later on I will explore Manjaro some more, especially on connecting to the Wi-Fi, and see if we have to do some other setup. But I think for now this is all successful, and yeah, I hope yeah, since some people on this channel were asking for Manjaro, that they're also happy with this movie, and let's see where we go from here. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.